Guys, deluded goon. Stoke 1, Arsenal 0. Now, you're entitled to be upset about your football club leaving. I mean, I know I'm upset as well, but you can't be shocked by this, guys. Because if you've been watching me, and those of you that watch me and my regular viewers know, I've been saying this. Until you can cherish the defensive, it's all nice and having these several attackers that can play pretty football that are brainwashed. Defense wins titles. The dirty work wins titles. Defending on set pieces wins titles. These are the sort of things we should have been working on in pre-season. I told you guys, in and out of possession. We need to work on transitioning in and out of possession as a pressing style with uncoordinated pressing. Everything that was in last season. All of these things I've told you. So you can't let this ruin your fine Saturday, my regular viewers, because I've told you about all of this. It's all fine and dandy, like I said, everyone flying forward. You need to defend. You need to regain and retain possession. You need to not lose when you can't win. You need to force wins when the pretty football isn't working. You need to up the tempo and realize you need to change something up when you're losing, not regardless of winning, losing, or drawing, playing the same passive football. But yeah, we're going off task. Let's get into the game. Before I do that, team news of significance. Hesse, a big boy for Stoke. He's been at the Madrids and PSGs. He signed for them. Zuma, excellent loan signing. Don't know why Chelsea loaned him out. Well, I do to get games and stuff, but yeah, they kind of, there's a case they could need him. Stoke very much punching above their weight with someone of the caliber of Zuma. No disrespect to them. And they had Moting that they got on a free transfer for us. Bellerin started on the left, Ox started on the right, Ramsey came into the side, Mustafi came back into the side. I don't think I'm missing anyone else out. Apologies if I am. First 10 minutes, to be honest, lazy from both sides, to be honest. Stoke were, you could see what Stoke were trying to do. They were trying to hit us over the top, that ball over the top with several people pulling into that left-hand channel, that channel that Henry made so famous. They were trying to hit us over the top, get into that little angle, pin Oxlade 1 versus 1, which is why I couldn't understand why we're playing a ridiculously high line and relying, rather than having someone drop a couple yards, we're relying on the linesmen, and which the officials, a lot of the decisions were on both sides, but mainly us, a bit of bias there. Very, very shocking decisions today. So that was already cause for concern. Stoke were camped in the first half for a lot of the game, especially the first 10 minutes. Both sides really got in behind and threatened in the first 10 minutes, really, and didn't produce anything of significance. Czech had to deny a number of saves in that first half. In the whole game, to be honest, he's the only Arsenal player that could leave with any sort of responsibility and some sort of happiness, knowing that he did something. Xhaka was the only one trying to play direct passes today. He made a mistake for the first goal. I'll allude to that later. But we were really collectively, we're not at it. Bellerin getting down the left, getting in positions and just losing his head. It was correct. It was collectively poor. They were having joy down our left hand side as well. And like I said, they were clearly trying to target that. We were not at it. Lacazette worked really hard today. I'll give him that. Lacazette, he really deserved the goal and he probably should have scored. He didn't really have that many opportunities. He created a lot. He came deep a lot. He created a lot of deep lying chances. He was basically a playmaker, and then we didn't really have a focal point because he wasn't getting any service, so he came deep. When he was fighting in the air, he did do a lot of things. You saw him. It was a good sight seeing him roughing up Snodgrass and things like that. Ramsey's way more interested in just running and being a superstar than he is sometimes being a midfielder. I tell you guys, Ramsey is better when he keeps it simple. The ball over the top, we were falling for it time and time again, falling for it. Outside of possession as well. I mean, in possession, in the final third of their half, we weren't good enough. In the final third of our half, we definitely weren't good enough. In possession, I'm tired. There's not enough runners in behind. There's not enough collective movement. There was passages where Ox was doing it sometimes. Lacazette had no runners. Ozil had no runners. Ozil had to come deep, and you saw an improvement of Ozil in the second half when he came off that flank. There were passages where we were playing some nice football. Ultimately, we just couldn't score. I think Wells had a great incident where he was put in. Ramsey was put in over someone clipped. I think it was Ox clipped it in over the top. Ox set up a couple of chances. We really should have scored. I think Wells, or someone, forgive me if I'm wrong, had a header, and we really should have put it to bed, really and truly. Like, I mean, we did it. Like I said, the ref was very dodgy. We should have had a pen. If I'm very harsh, we should have had a pen. I think Shaqiri should have been booked for that handball. A lot of things should have happened. Not just us. We got away with a couple things as well. Ball going out, just delaying the game. I mean, we don't need to kick it off. If the ref decides there's an issue, and that goes for even if it's not in Arsenal's favour, if the injury is that bad, the ref needs to stop it. It's ridiculous. I'll give us credit. The only good thing I saw in the 27th minute, like I said, Ox, a lovely set piece, put Ramsey in behind. There was some sort of trust seeing us improve our set pieces, but we were caught in possession time and time again, counter attack, and we got lucky against Leicester. We did not get lucky today. Like I said, counter attack upon counter attack, scared from set pieces, players out of position. Players not being brave. There was an incident in the first half. Ramsey pulled out of a challenge and they had a counter attack, and Hesse really should have fed someone in and put it to bed. Like I said, if we play the Chelseas and Cities how we did today, forget about it. We'll get smoked. We're not. It's just the decision making at this club, especially the starting 11 that played. The collective decision making was poor today. We just weren't switched on. We didn't work for each other. We didn't want it enough. Like I told you guys, it's all fine and dandy in pre-season and 5 games out of 38 being up for it. You need to be up for it in games like this. You saw it raining. It's always windy in Stoke. You don't want to play at Stoke. They're the games you win if you're going to win the league. So if anyone, I'd love to sit here and be wrong in May next year, but if anyone that supports Arsenal, believes in Arsenal, works for Arsenal, believes that we can win a league behaving like this with that squad, you're bugging, you're buzzing. You need to just, you need to allow it. It's nothing to do with them being bad. Between not thinking like winners, between not behaving like winners, between cheap mistakes, between some just not being good enough. It's not gonna happen. I mean, schoolboy errors from free kicks again, slicing balls and things like that. Second half, okay, it's 0-0. You could argue in the latter stage of the second half, Arsenal were controlling it and we were having the chances, and Stoke had 11 men behind the ball. Okay, so the second half, you go out with some intent. You go out to kill it off. What happens in the first minute of the second half? Xhaka and Ozil doing cute little 1-2. Xhaka, a poor pass in behind Ozil. Counter attack, bang. Berahino does lovely. I mean, I think Hesse starts it, does lovely to give it to Berahino, gives it to him back. Monreal poor, just backing off and backing off and backing off. You can tell you can see Czech saying engage, engage. Why is Monreal playing centre half? Yes, he can do a job there, but this is not how you should be moving with. Koscielny, I'm still on to you, because if you didn't do that nonsense on the last game of the season, you would have been here. But it's just nonsense. We're not pressing together either. I forgot to allude to it. It's 1-0 Stoke, but we're not pressing together either. It's uncoordinated. Some guys are pressing, some guys are defending space. Like, we don't know what we're doing collectively. Sideways passes after sideways pass after sideways pass. It doesn't matter if we're behind, in front, or what. Sideways pass. We're brainwashed. Controlling possession doesn't mean anything. Possession is 9 tenths of the law. But if you do nothing with possession, you don't win games. Purpose to possession is always what I scream. That is why I like 4-3-3. It was ridiculous. You could see them trying to hit the balls over the top. You could see Stoke's defenders were still getting used to their new system. So why didn't we play slightly more direct? I'll give us credit. We did hit some balls over the top quickly. But they're trying to get into their new system and adjust to it. Why did we not put balls in behind? Balls in behind. Peg their runners. Make their fullback. Diouf is not a natural defender. Bellerin should have had more of a go. Have more of a go. Do we go into games thinking about anything? Like, do we go into games with any logic? Like I said, guys, you cannot be upset. I mean, Butland had a great game today as well. He morphed into Peter Schmeichel, saving everything. But everyone that plays Arsenal, whether you're a new signing or you play in League 2, you play Arsenal, you'll have a good game. And it's just straight out the usual handbook. Defend it. Defend. If you defend tight, you counter-attack us. You defend neatly. You give us false confidence. You defend your space. You don't allow cheap mistakes. You make sure that you make the most of your set pieces. You walk away with the 3 points. You might not have the most possession. You might have had to run around. You might go straight to sleep after that game because of the amount of running you've had to do and chasing shadows and things. You might get nutmegged, but you walk away with the 3 points, and Arsenal won't. Pretty football does not equal good results. I would love to play beautiful football and win, but we need to be adaptable. You cannot play how you did against Stoke with that mindset and go against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in these places. Away form is what makes or breaks the season. That was poor. I remember there was seasons where we were actually better away from home than we were here. What is going on? Like I said, you can't let this upset you guys. You can't draw too many conclusions. But yeah, deluded Guna, I'm signing out. We should have had a penalty. We should have had a lot of decisions. But yeah, it was a joke thing today. Guys, I'm signing out. Time to head to the gym, man. Get burn this off. Yeah, man. Get in the comments, subscribe, like. I know it's not a good day for us Gooners, but yeah, man. I'm out.